Yo, Happy New Year. Part 2 of middle voice of the 4 parts that we're going to do, 4 exercises that we're going to cover. So we started last time with basically the most popular exercise in singing, which is the arpeggio. I just got a haircut. She wasn't really paying attention. I'm kind of, it looks okay. It looks okay. The arpeggio. Okay? Now we're going to go on to what I think is the best strength building, stamina building exercise in middle voice, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 consecutive half steps. Is that how you say it? It's like 3 up, 3 down. Okay, you're going to stay on one vowel for this. You're really only going to do it 3 times. You can do a 4th as well. So the 4th is going to start pretty much at your passaggio point, your middle voice passaggio point, where you're going to be firmly in it. So you could do it 4 times. We are working on just being in that part of the voice that we have to be in for a long, long time in opera. We want to really develop and feel the difference between, I guess you could say, regular middle voice and dragon breath middle voice. And we want to be able to have as much consistency, coordination, and strength in the fully tilted area as we do in the not quite as fully tilted area and nice, rich, dark area of middle. Okay? I'm going to demonstrate one time on the ah vowel, all right? So this is how I would do it. I would do it 3 times in a row. Ah! Now, those all felt really good. You're going to notice, or you should notice, once you get to the top 2 half steps, is you should notice a bit of a fanning. You can do it in the back. Maybe you can start to fan in the back. So it's going to happen in the mouth as well, but it might be more useful to think of it happening kind of like you're spreading the soft palate, or you're spreading the part of your mouth that is right between the soft and hard palate. Or you can just go the traditional method, which is to say, fan out the mouth. Okay? You can do that same exercise with open because you're going to keep it open the same points as the ah. I'll just do the top one so you understand. Okay. If you do O, it's going to want to turn on that note, the highest note of your ah in your middle voice, okay? And it's okay to practice that. If you want to start doing top voice exercises now, eventually we're going to use this to get in and out of top voice. Now this one, let's just pretend that you're going to do that. You're probably going to keep the D natural or corresponding note in your voice closed for a consistency of tone, okay? On the way back down. I've discussed in a previous video the necessity of being able to develop the skill, the coordination, and strength to open back up into middle voice. Now, in close notes that are close together, You got to make decisions based on the repertoire, what fits and what doesn't fit. Now, I'm a huge fan of, in Avantikite, opening up that D natural da. That's the example I used. But there are other pieces of repertoire, like let's say the high note in O Holy Night at the end. His power and... For me, I would keep it turned. But if you're a higher baritone, that E flat O, glory, is possible to open. But for consistency, you might want to keep it closed. So the point is, don't be shocked. And also, your throat might just naturally want to keep it closed. Sometimes you have to fight that feeling, and sometimes you can go with that feeling. Now, in this case, maybe it's not so bad. Let's demonstrate it one time. Okay. We can also try to fight to have it come back out into middle voice. It's a shocking sensation, actually. I lost a little, didn't quite pressurize it right. But worth playing with, worth figuring out how to do it in both ways. I would say for your practices, you're going to want to do this exercise twice through on 2 different vowels. So maybe I do ah. For me, I started on B flat. That's 1 revolution. Now maybe I want to do the same thing with O, and I'll just start 1 half step down. So that my top note is the D. It's also going to challenge you to cut off right. And when you're first, it's going to challenge you to cut off right. Basically, that's been a huge sticking point in my singing, and so I do try to use this exercise to figure that out. I can get a little stuck in my own head about it, which kind of slows down my vibrating pattern. Anyway, the point is, this exercise is the strength builder. There's nothing else that's going to keep you in the most demanded part of your singing than this exercise. And when you're starting, you're going to do it twice through with 2 different vowels. Eventually, you can spend more time on it. And to develop the strength of middle voice, you might spend days or weeks pounding this exercise out and then applying it to repertoire. For example, let's choose a piece of rep where you're going to have to sing in that part of your voice a lot. Con fortori cadenti non spargeran d'un fiore la tua canuta età non spargeran d'un fiore la tua canuta età. Now, that's an example of standard operatic singing. There was no huge high note in there. It was just all in that big resonant middle voice that composers want us to sing in. So there's a reason for this exercise. It sounds a little silly and it is extremely fatiguing, which is why you shouldn't do it that often in the context of one session. But it's necessary. It's necessary to overtrain for this kind of singing. You wanna know that you can take it to the limit, so that you want to make your exercises more difficult than the repertoire itself. Okay. So when you're a beginner, how's it going to be? We're going to go faster, and we're going to just focus on getting a good cutoff, even no matter how short it is. And we're going to use the same principles of vowel modification we talked about previously. You start a little darker, you get a little brighter if it's a dark vowel. And a darker vowel, you're going to be you're going to be a little bit brighter on a darker vowel, a little bit more modified on a darker vowel, and eventually you're going to go dark again because it's going to close early. All right, so like ah, let's do the beginner version. Let's do it right in the middle of this. Ah. Okay, O. Oh. All right, we just want consistency of that crowing, yelling tone. You don't have to focus so much on anything else when you're first starting out. If you want to wiggle, you can practice the wiggle on the last note or the top note. So let's do like the O again. Oh, or oh, whatever. Make the adjustment to try and start getting the wiggle. It is just absolutely the best exercise to build strength and stamina in the middle, and to get used to singing in the middle and not make it such a big deal. It's like, oh, I have to be here the whole time. Okay. So when you first start it, you do it twice through. Then maybe you do it 3 times through. And eventually you can incorporate closed vowels to see how they work. I developed my ooh largely through this exercise. Now that has a different function than singing in middle voice, but it was just trying to get that feeling of going from that open lower ooh, oh, and seeing what it felt like and just making it normal to be there for a while. So that's a later stage of the exercise. In the beginning, we just want to get this middle voice going. We want to get dragon's breath going. Okay. And eventually you're going to want to make it a vibrating pattern of singing, okay? But there is nothing that's going to train you better, I'll say it until you believe me, for the strength and stamina of opera singing in the middle voice than this exercise. It's very straightforward, guys. I will have all the corresponding places to start. Remember, you do it 3 times, 2 vowels to start with. Eventually you can incorporate it. You can do it 4 times, and you can incorporate all the vowels. But remember, it is fatiguing, and you're going to want to take some time between these exercises and the rest of your practice session. And if it's a vocal lesson, careful. Don't stress your student out. They're going to have to get to the repertoire unless you really want to spend your whole time doing this. Okay, till next time. See you.